Good evening, it's 10 p.m. in Banjul. This is the news first at top stories. President Adama Barrow leaves Banjul tomorrow for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in London. Former Minister of Regional Government and Lands, Momodu Akibayo, reappears at the Janneh Commission of Inquiry. Nigerian energy company Nicode drags Royal Shell Oil Company to court for illegally exporting crude oil. And Zimbabwe invited to attend the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting for the first time in decades. Well, viewers, those are the headlines. Thanks for joining us once again. His Excellency President Adama Barrow will attend the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in London, United Kingdom. This is the first time the Gambia is attending the meeting since its withdrawal from the Commonwealth in 2013. A statement from the Presidency says the Gambian leader will meet Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the British Prime Minister, the Commonwealth Secretary General and other dignitaries. Their discussions will center on sustainable progress, environmental protection, and efforts in eliminating malaria in the Gambia. The President will also attend the United Nations General Assembly high-level meeting on peace building in New York, where he will deliver a statement on peace building and sustainable peace, and as well attend the advocacy meeting on the International Conference on the National Development Plan, scheduled to take place in Brussels in May 2018. The Gambian leader and First Lady Fatouba Barrow will depart Banjul International Airport tomorrow, Tuesday, 17th April at 11 a.m. Those invited to see the President off are requested to be at the airport at least half an hour before departure for the usual ceremonies. The former Minister of Regional Government and Lands, Momodu Akibayo, has said he relied on letters from the Gambia Milling Corporation and the Gambia Ports Authority for the issuing of lease documents to the land occupied by the corporation. Mr. Bayo was testifying before the Janneh Commission investigating the financial dealings of former President Yahya Jammeh. Ibrahima Jallo tells us more.
The former lands minister referred to letters of consent from the Gambian Milling Corporation in Banjul sometime in 2013 and granted lease to the corporation.
It is correct, Mr. Bayo, that that letter was not copied to your ministry or to the Department of Lands and Service. Is that not so?
Yes, it was not copied to us.
And you are saying that you relied on that letter to grant a lease to the Gambia Milling Corporation. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, because when you go through this file, I've seen that thereafter, the Gambia Milling Corporation wrote to the Minister of Lands and Regional Government, indicating that they had already acquired the consent, if I may put it that way, of the Gambia Ports Authority.
Mr. Bayo also said he was not aware of an $18 million the corporation was supposed to pay for the lease, as revealed by investigative documents made available to the Commission. The country coordinator for the Karafi company in the Gambia, Mudlamin Sonko, also reappeared before the Commission in connection to the sale of Karaba Beach Hotel. He insisted that Amadou Samba played a role in the process. Steve Tambidi, the lawyer representing Mr. Samba, said there was no substantive evidence that his client signed on the sale of the hotel.
Apart from your testimony here before this Commission, you have nothing to show or to support that testimony that Mr. Samba signed a document or signed for Yahya Jammeh or was involved in this transaction.
Mr. Samba, apparently, according to my evidence, when I said all this, he came and refuted only short of knowing, saying that he doesn't know Yahya Jammeh. That was the only thing short of him saying. So, Mr. Samba,
I ask you a specific question.
Yeah, I'm telling you that I'm answering the question. That Mr. Samba, I mean, if you put it to me that Mr. Samba, Mr. Samba was part of it.
Wulenji Sise, former managing director of Kanila Group International, also returned for cross-examination regarding the sale of a Japanese rice grant. Investigations revealed that some 189 million was due to government from the proceeds. However, Mrs. Njai said this was not indicated in the plan's report when she took over in 2014. Ibrahim Jallo, GRTS News.
The Independent Electoral Commission will conduct the local government elections for mayors and chairpersons on 12 May. A media release from the IEC states that nomination of candidates will be held on 23rd and 24th April. Nomination forms are available to prospective candidates from Monday 16th to Tuesday 24th April. The forms are free of charge and can only be collected from IEC regional offices in Banjul, Kanifing, Birkama, Kerawan, Mansakonko, Janjanbure, and Basse. The 2018 International Trade Fair, organized by the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, has finally ended at the Independence Stadium in Bakau. Janketure reports on the event described by many as successful.
3 weeks back, the 12th edition of International Trade Fair, which purposely seeks to allow local and international businesses to showcase their products, came to an end at the Independence Stadium in Bakau. This year's fair brought together businesses from home and abroad. Gambia Chamber of Commerce Director of Corporate Services, Beatrice Mboch, harped on the significance of the country's biggest trade fair.
You will all observe that this is the biggest fair ever and also has witnessed the biggest number of visitors ever. Bringing so many people together will not go without its challenges. But we were able to overcome the challenges and also to organize a platform where our participants eventually became happy, and it was a learning process for us.
Speakers spoke at length on the economic benefits of the trade fair. Mohammed Jagana is the president of GCCI.
We had over 50,000 visitors that came over the last 3 weeks to look at the products and the goods and services that have been provided by Gambian entrepreneurs and our international brothers and partners, especially from Senegal and the region. This trade fair, we had over 450 stalls. We have seen over the last 12 trade fairs how young Gambian companies have performed to be excellent international performers.
Brilliant ideas have been demonstrated from the business idea pitching competition organized by GAIBA in collaboration with the Chamber on the occasion of the trade fair.
The CEO of Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Alu Seka, equally said that the Gambia's new democratic dispensation contributed immensely towards the success of the latest trade fair.
I think that probably helped because people feel more at home and feel certainly more at ease. But moreover, I think more and more Gambians want to participate in the economic development of the country. Many see it as a potential livelihood. They do not only want to be employees, but some of them want to create jobs and pay taxes and contribute effectively. So overall, I think there's a positive atmosphere.
Although many preferred the business platform to be prolonged, vendors like Mansour Gay, Dr. Alex, and Ajara Musala acknowledged that it was a successful one, given their sales as compared to previous year's trade fair. Meant to create opportunity for businesses and innovators to showcase their products and services so as to explore investment opportunities. The successes of this year's trade fair are expected to be replicated and even better in the upcoming one. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Jengeture.
The Gambian ambassador to Russia, Jenna Baba, has presented her letters of credence to the President Vladimir Putin at the Grand Kremlin Palace in Moscow. Ambassador Ba thanked the Russian president for his goodwill message extended to the Gambia. A media release from the Foreign Affairs Ministry said, Ambassador Ba and President Putin hailed the cordial bilateral relations between the two countries and further spoke on deepening economic cooperation in education and agriculture. The National Association of Cooperative Credit Union on Saturday held its 25th annual general meeting to discuss the activity report and financial account of the union as the apex body of all the affiliated unions in the country. Louis Mendy was there emphasizing this report.
The National Association of Cooperative Credit Unions of the Gambia, as the apex body of credit unions in the country, has the legal mandate to report on an annual basis its activity and financial statements to the affiliated credit unions, hence the 25th annual general meeting. The forum which took place on Saturday attracted dozens of delegates from over 30 credit unions. It was an opportunity for them to hear and scrutinize NACUC's activities.
This is called the Members Forum. It is called that because members will ask questions and we will have a responsibility to clarify those questions, including the board members who are charged with the responsibility of directing the affairs of the credit union.
NACUC's activity report and financial statements during the year under review were read by the outgoing board chair, John Frank Mendy, and treasurer, Sira Jame. Both reports highlighted positives as NACUC endeavors to fight poverty through the principles and philosophy of credit union.
NACUC will prioritize the capacity development of its senior and middle level management staff to help it respond adequately to the changing needs of credit unions. The newly constructed training center, which we are all sitting in today, will be fully utilized and training developed in more practical and exciting ways, because we want to see credit union flourish.
Inspection and monitoring of credit unions is still vital and key in the operations. Field assistants are employed in all chapters to coordinate the chapter activities and also support the credit unions to ensure safety and soundness at all levels.
The AGM is the highest decision-making body, so any major decision, including review of bylaws, including who will audit the next accounts, will be discussed today. So they will come in the form of resolutions, and members will vote on those resolutions, whether to accept them or not to accept the resolutions presented.
The meeting was graced by Siakaba of the Central Bank and Abamane, the Registrar of Cooperatives. The Central Bank, like NACUC, works towards financial inclusion, particularly for women and youth, hence the theme for this meeting.
The role of credit unions to bring financial services to the doorsteps of members is a major financial inclusion strategy that is already providing vital support to the financial sector development of government and Central Bank of the Gambia in particular.
I think emphasis should also be on community-based credit union, so that we can see how this financial inclusion will be felt by all as far as credit unions are concerned.
And as NACUC celebrates 25 years of existence, the Treasurer's report says its balance sheet stands at $951 million with a loan portfolio of over $700 million, an indication that the institution is steadily working towards the mission of fighting poverty. Louis Mendy, Grts.
The community of Jara Sutukung on Saturday commemorated its 40th Ziare in the Lower River region. As Modu Bajan reports, this year's event attracted participants from the Gambia and beyond.
The 40th Jara Sutukung Ziare, particularly held in honor of the late Sheikh Sambulamin Jabi, was graced by several Muslims, including Islamic scholars from around the country and beyond. As typical of such religious gatherings, there were several poetic hymns as well as religious songs portraying the teachings of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam and Islam by extension. some 40 years ago, this annual gathering was chiefly observed to pray for our late forefathers who devoted all their lives to Islam, says Al-Haji Batura Jabi. He further told GRTS that they have recited the Holy Quran 313 times, and they did the same number of recitations of Dalalil al-Hayrat by Imam Abu Hamid al-Hazali, who is considered to be one of the greatest Islamic thinkers. The expanding engagement is not only attracting local settlers, as Mohammed Jabi and more than a dozen others came from several European countries to grace the event. Praying for others and seeking prayers is very important, and this is why I have to travel from France to partake in this event, he told GRTS. This settlement has for decades been a Quranic and Islamic learning center, says oral historian Dalingo. Aside from the 313 times that the Holy Quran was recited as part of the religious occasion, chapters of Islam's most sacred book were also pronounced during the engagement.
وقد أضلني عن الذكر بعد إذ جاءني وكان الشيطان للإنسان خذولا.
Being one of the hallmarks of the event, there were prayers from various scholars, including that of Al-Hassan Bisri Jabi, who represented their Khalifa Abdul Wahab Sarani Jabi, to further enhance peace and prosperity in the Gambia. Modu Bajan, GRTS.
Time now to take our first break. When we return, we will take a look at the sports news. Welcome back. Liverpool and Egyptian winger Mohamed Saleh has spoken of his desire to win trophies with his new club. The Egyptian star is having a sensational debut season with the Merseyside club after netting 40 goals in his first season. Saleh said he is settled at the club and sees his future with the Reds. He was speaking to CNN's Becky Anderson in an exclusive interview at Anfield.
We knew before the game it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, especially the first 20 minutes. When we had the chance to score, we scored.
Yes, you did. What do you remember about the goal?
It's a great feeling to score in that game. Like to have your team to qualify to the semi-final. It's a great feeling. I was cool in front of the goal. I did it well, so I'm happy about that.
And the fans love you.
Yeah.
So you went to the end where the travelling fans were.
Yes.
Could you hear them?
Yeah, of course. Every game they come, I hear them because they sung a special song from me. But I love them because I play here in Anfield. I hear that every game, and I feel the love in the city, in the club, in the training. So.
Do you think you and the team here can win the Champions League this season?
We can. We are in the semi-final. I say always we take it step by step, but we are in the semi-final. Everything can happen. Everyone go to the game in the semi-final or in the quarter-final because we have emotion. We have to win. We can do it. So now the semi-final, 2 games until the last step.
As a 7-year-old, when you used to catch 5 buses to play in your first little team, did you know who Liverpool were?
Yeah.
Had you heard of the team?
Of course,
yeah?
Of course. It's a big club. Everyone knows the club in the Middle East. A huge club. So everyone knows that. I love, when I was kid, I was playing the PlayStation with the Liverpool. So
seriously?
I know the club, of course. Yes. Yes.
Understandably, people are comparing you to Messi and Ronaldo. How do you rate yourself? Are you the 3rd best player in the world?
I did that for the people. They can say what they see or what they want, but I'm always each game. I'm thinking about the game to help the team to get points, to score goals, to do my best in the game. That's the most important thing for me. I take every game with a passion. I want to score. I want to do the different each game. So that's what I have in my mind.
You want to win the Golden Boot this season? There's somebody on your heels.
They are number 9, and it's more easier for them.
Do you think you're going to win? You want it, don't you? You want that golden boot.
No, you see, still 5 games to go. We will see at the end of the season.
We will see.
We will be back with news from outside the Gambia right after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. A Nigerian energy company, Nicole, is dragging Royal Dutch Shell to a British court of arbitration for illegally exporting crude oil from an oil well whose lease had already been sold. More on this from CGTN's Kalechi Emekalam.
Money Nicole is trying to recover, and how much oil Shell pumped after selling the field still remains unknown. But the oil field in question is known to produce 80,000 barrels per day and could be expanded to 110,000 barrels per day. Nicole bought stakes in the disputed oil field from Shell at $390 million in April 2011, but claims Shell kept lifting and exporting crude from the field until November 2011 without sharing the revenue. The company now wants a share of that revenue. Nicole referred the case for arbitration last year, but experts familiar with such cases say it could take years to reach a final conclusion. The Nigerian company owes several banks to the tune of $600 million and may need the funds to settle the loans. Its chief executive officer, Frank Edozie, says the company is currently in talks with banks to restructure its debt and raise equity. Shell has sued one of its former employees for receiving bribes during the sale of the oil field to Nikondo. But it says the case against its former employee has nothing to do with the arbitration case. Shell is facing numerous legal challenges with its operations in Nigeria. Its operations in Ogoniland has been brought to a halt, and it's battling several claims from people whose land and water sources have been polluted by years of oil spills. Kelechi Emekalam, CGT and Abuja, Nigeria.
The United Kingdom is hosting the 2018 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, and London is rolling out the red carpet this year for leaders in the wake of Brexit. For the first time in years, Zimbabwe has been invited to the summit, a further sign of thawing relations between Harare and London. CGTN's Farai Makutuya has more from the Zimbabwean capital.
Minister is leading a delegation that's been invited to the Commonwealth meeting just as an observer ahead of readmission to the group of former British colonies later this year. Former President Robert Mugabe withdrew Zimbabwe from the Commonwealth in 2003 after the group had suspended the country to pressure it to restore the rule of law. Since becoming president last November, Emmerson Mnangagwa has been reaching out to the United Kingdom and other European governments. His overtures are bearing fruit. 2 British ministers have visited Zimbabwe in the last 6 months, marking an improvement in relations that is set to culminate in the readmission to the Commonwealth before year-end. Mnangagwa has also included a Commonwealth observer mission on a list of 46 countries and organizations that will be invited to monitor elections in July. Farai Makutuya, CGTN, Harare, Zimbabwe.
A young South African has launched a mobile app that provides township dwellers with a list of nearby services. It's a first for South Africa and offers convenient access to a variety of entrepreneurs and service providers. CGTN's Yolisa Nyamila has more.
It's called Explore Ikasi. Ikasi is a slang for township. Katleho Nyauza is the founder and creator of the app. He says the app has started a revolution where informal traders get to compete on an equal footing with formal businesses on the same platform for the same market.
The app is there to assist the community in accessing services and products within the community. So in other words, I don't have to walk 5 kilometers to find out that I actually cannot afford a product or a service. At the comfort of my own, I'm able to see that this establishment is offering this at this price. Can I afford it, yes or no? Is it on stock, yes or no? So that is what it was all about for me, creating that convenience for township businesses to be on an online platform.
The app has already created an online footprint for township businesses. Essentially, it allows informal business owners to list their businesses. Those who have the app to be able to find services and companies that can service their needs.
Business owners will be now able to access online customers. In accessing online customers, they will have an opportunity to get them, to keep them, and to grow their customers, which is critical. We want township businesses to thrive. For example, there is beauty care, there is motor care, there is accommodation, there is education, etc., etc., right? So all these businesses needed to appear on the app, right, and be marketable, because there's a lot of money that is exchanged within the township.
The app uses geolocation technology to point the user to the closest listed businesses.
The Explore Ekasi app has become a premier destination for all those operating their businesses here. It also serves all the people who live in the township.
On the app, businesses also get to advertise their operating hours, contact details, specials, and importantly, directions.
It has helped us a lot because it has brought us customers, new customers, people who have seen it on, they didn't even know Togoza, but they've been to Foslugas and around car washes, and they're not happy with how they wash the cars, so they come and visit. So it has helped us a lot. Now we are known almost everywhere.
The app is currently available on Android and will launch an iOS version soon. Yulisa Jamala, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.
And before we take leave of you, a recap of the day's main stories. President Adama Barrow will leave Banjul tomorrow for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in the United Kingdom. Former Minister of Regional Government and Lands, Momodu Akibayo, has reappeared at the Joint Commission of Inquiry. Nigerian energy company Nicode has dragged Royal Shell Oil Company to court for illegally exporting crude oil. And Zimbabwe has been invited to attend the Commonwealth Heads of State and Government meeting for the first time in decades. But viewers, that was all in this edition of the News at 10. From me, Winifred Nicola, and the entire news team. Thanks for your time, and do stay with GRTS.